Okay. Yeah. Resuming, first let us look into the syllabus. See, when they say computer knowledge as a paper, they didn't want you to go in detail of knowing all the things about the computer. They have told that a basic knowledge of the computer is required, a bit of application along with the basic knowledge. Basic knowledge of the computer in the sense what are things associated with the computer you should be knowing about it. So this is the whole syllabus that is talking about. You can just note it down. The first one is Introduction to Computer. It says about the basic introduction, like how the computer has evolved and all those. And then we'll be studying about the history. Okay, who is the father of computer?
Charles Babbage.
Charles Babbage.
Charles Babbage. Okay. So we know that Charles Babbage is the father of computer, but we'll be studying in detail. Is he a real father of the computer? Okay. Computer as evolved by Charles Babbage. We don't call it as the actual computer that we use now. Okay. We'll be studying about that. Don't worry. Then we'll be studying about important input and output devices. Okay. Let me ask you, like, do you know any input and output devices of the computer? Give me some examples for input devices.
Input devices, keyboard, mouse. Output
Okay,
devices,
good.
screen, speaker.
Monitor. Monitor is the most important output device. Okay. Input devices, when I say, like whatever the mechanism or the devices that we use to give inputs to the computer. For example, if I want to work with the computer, I need to type something. I need to move the cursor here and there to select whichever documents I wanted to choose. So those are basically the input devices. You might have played PS2 or PS3 where you use joystick. Have you used it?
Yes,
Is
sir.
it an output device or an input device?
Input.
Input device. That's how you use it. Okay. So these are the input device, output device. We'll be studying details of all these devices. Then we'll be talking about memory. Okay. We might have already studied in the school days ROM and RAM. Are you aware of this? Okay. There is no requirement of studying about the computer itself. Even in your mobile phone, you would find it, right? RAM, ROM, you say, right? What is the RAM of the computer? You would be asking. Okay, your mobile. Is it 34 GB or is it 32 GB or 64 GB? Okay, the total memory that it can be accessible with a device we call it as RAM and ROM. Okay, we'll be studying about that. Then we'll be studying some important logic gates, number system. These are quite technical in matter. Then programming language. Do you know any programming language? How many of you are from IT field? Like, you might have studied a bit of IT related courses, maybe BCA or something like that. Any one of you? Please give me a response in the chat box. It's fine. No need to unmute yourself. No one. Okay, fine. It's okay. So programming language you might have heard, right? C programming, C plus, Java. These are some of the important programming languages that we will be studying. Not in detail for that matter, knowing what is this program, how it is used and all those. Then we'll be studying some important softwares. Okay. Operating system, how does it work? Data communication, DBMS, internet concept, most important. Okay. The present trending topics. Then network security. Then MS Office. In softwares, we'll be studying different types of software like Nudi, Baraha, these kind of softwares will be there. We'll be studying about that as well. Okay. You have heard about Nudi, right? How many of you know about Nudi? What is Nudi? It is a Kannada word actually. Nudi anta. You know, ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಲ್ವಾ? If at all you have to type in Kannada, okay? See, you might have seen the keyboard. It's given in English, right? So when you're typing A will be presented in the computer. But if at all I wanted to complete if I have to type please mute. Someone is unmute. Please mute yourself. Okay. Follow the etiquette of the class whenever you join. I wanted to type okay. So normally when I type, it would be coming in English. So if I need to change it to Kannada, I use this software called Nudi. Okay, we'll be studying about the details, how you need to type. And recently, in the BCom BBA exam that is being conducted, they have asked 3 questions from Nudi. 3 questions. It plays an important role that you need to know this Nudi properly. 3 questions they have asked. ಸುಮ್ನೆ ನೋಡಿ ಹಿಂಗ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಹಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ, ತುಂಬಾ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಶಸ್ತ್ರಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಇದನ್ನ ನುಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಶಾ ಎಸ್ ಎಸ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಮೊದ್ಲಿಗೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಶಸ್ತ್ರಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಅದು ಎಫ್ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟು. ಓಕೆ, ಆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಈ ರೀತಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನುಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, 2 ರೀತಿಯ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಿ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್. ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಯು ನೋಟೆಡ್ ಡೌನ್ ದಿಸ್? ಕ್ವಿಕ್ಲಿ ನೋಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಡೌನ್ all the topics. Okay, MS Office, you know it already. MS Office has PowerPoint. MS Office has Excel. MS Office has Word. These are the 3 important things. There are other things like Outlook and all those, which are not that much important. For now, you need to remember these 3 things as studied in MS Office. MS Office is a group which has all these chapters: PowerPoint, Excel, and Word. How many of you are already aware of these things like PowerPoint, Excel, Word? You might have studied in schools, right? Type madlike basically use Word. Excel used to store the data basically, or the, and PowerPoint. See, we send you some rank list at the end of the session. Nodidira? Have you seen the rank list that we sent? Basically, we use MS Excel here. Okay, it is easy for us to calculate average, to calculate the total marks, to calculate your performance and all those. We use Excel actually. Artha aita? That is how it is. So when we are doing those chapters, I'll show you like lively. I'll show what is Excel, what is Office, what is Word, and all those. So because live information is very much required. So have you noted down these syllabus? So I move to the next topic. So these are the syllabus that we're gonna study today. I'm not going to do too much. I just wanted to start the class of this computer. Okay. They basically will be studying first 2 chapters probably today: Introduction to Computer and History. Okay. So clear? Any doubts? Sorry. Did you take down all this? Okay. Let us move to the next one. So syllabus is clear. Let's move to the next first chapter probably. Introduction to Computer. Okay. Introduction to Computer. So basically, in the Introduction to Computer chapter, we'll be studying 3 things, 3 important things. The first one is definition. Definition as such, they wouldn't ask, because this is not a descriptive paper, it is an objective paper. Definition as such, they wouldn't ask. They would used to ask before, like some 5 to 10 years ago, they used to ask, but presently I don't think so they can ask any definition. Even though they ask, you can generally write about it. It's not that big task. Then you'll be studying about the block diagram of computer, block diagram of computer system. Okay. The third one you'll be studying is data processing cycle. Don't worry. These are very simple topics. Words are complicated, but the things are very simple. Okay. 3 things you'll be studying: definition, block diagram, data processing cycle. So 3 topics we'll be studying. Okay. The first one is definition. Do we have a standard definition for computer? No, actually, we don't have a standard definition. Anyone can give any kind of definition for the computer, but the simplest definition for computer is, you can note down, it is an electronic device. It is an electronic device to process. It is an electronic device to process. It is an electronic device to process the data. The data, process the data, and converts it into information. And converts it into information. Very simple. Data and information. Okay, let us not go to computer as such. Generally, tell me what you understand by the term data and information. What is data? What is information? In your understanding, you can type it in the chat box so that I can understand, like how many of you are aware about it. Rather than unmuting yourself, you can just type it in the chat box. What do you understand by the term data and information? 2 things. Are they same or are they different? Please use the chat box. Be interactive, guys. Otherwise, it becomes one-way talk and it becomes boring and all those. What is facts? You have invented a new term now. Data, information, and a new term, facts. I want a definition like data means something like this. In my understanding, data means this. In my understanding, information means like this. The proper, if they are same, you can tell, okay, both data and information are same. Guys, please use the chat box. You have to be quick. Guys, are you writing something? I'm waiting for you. Simple two English words I have given. Data is unorganized and probably not comprehensible. Information is organized data which makes sense and one can understand it. Good. Data is a collection of fact. Information is facts. Okay. Fine. Good. Good attempt. Anyone else? Good try, Grace. Okay. Basically, as someone has clearly put it, data is an unorganized information. For example, I go to each and every household in India and collect census data, right? Census ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ ನೀವು? Census data. When I collect the data, do I collect it in an organized way? No, I randomly take their data, whatever they give. Correct? Okay. Once I complete taking the census, what I do, I bring all this data together and I try to compile it in a different manner. For example, I've taken information about the number of people living in the country, like in the age group, different age group, 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40. While collecting the data, I might have randomly taken their names and their age. Now, I wanted to segregate with respect to our country that how many people are living in a particular age bracket. Are you getting it? So when I try to compile it properly in an organized manner, we get to what is called as information. As someone has clearly put, data is basically an unorganized information. They're nothing but an unorganized information. Okay? Information is organized. ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ಓದ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಡಾಟಾನ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಓದ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಖುಷಿ ಅನ್ಸಲ್ಲ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಲಿ ಕಂಪೈಲ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ರ್ಯಾಂಡಮ್ಲಿ ಪುಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅನ್ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ಡ್ ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಎಕ್ಸೆಲ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೋ ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು ಕಾಲಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿ ನೋಡಿ ನೀವು ಏನಾದ್ರು ಸ್ಟಾಟಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಓದಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಓಕೆ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಸೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಹಿಂಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಸೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಹಿಂಗಿರುತ್ತೆ they would put something like this okay year they would say population okay 1950 1960 I randomly write something okay 1970 they might have told some 85 crore 95 crore okay 100 crores so it comes properly given information so here it will be helpful for you to understand okay 1950 84 crore 85 crore 1960 10 crores increase ಆಗಿದೆ ಓಕೆ 1960 ಇಂದ 70ಗೆ 5 crore increase ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಓದಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಡಾಟಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರ್ಯಾಂಡಮ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಾಟಾ ಓಕೆ ಸೊ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ವಿತ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟು ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ನಾವು ವಿತ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟು ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಯು ಗಿವ್ ಸಾರಿ whatever input you give to the computer okay of the data we call of an information we call it as data okay whatever input you give to the computer for example there is a computer here okay you have collected data on census now you input all this data here you input all this data in the computer ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ once you input computer will process it computer will process the data ಅದನ್ನ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂಥರ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಯು ಗೆಟ್ ಎ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೌ ಇಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್ಸ್ okay and this is the difference between data and information okay you can write a definition for it input given in the raw format is called data input given in the raw format Raw andre ange, like whatever census data you collect, as it is, you put it in the computer, we call it as data. Input given in the raw format is called data. And data ಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹೆಸರಿದೆ, we call it as raw fact. Please note down in the notes, raw fact. So this has been asked in the exam. Okay, what is one more name for data? Raw fact. Okay, input given in the raw format is called as data. And what you write for information, you write it. The processed data is called information. The processed data is called information. The processed data is called information. You can draw this diagram, show it like this: data, process, information. Okay. You can write raw fact. That is also called as raw fact. So this is, from this they can ask any kind of questions. What is data anta kelbodu? What is information anta kelbodu? Which is an input anta kelbodu? Which is an output anta kelbodu? Okay, any kind of questions they can ask you. It's a very simple thing, a simple standard thing about the computer. Okay, clear? Any doubts? Any doubts? Going a bit slow since it's the beginning. As once we get accelerated, we'll be going a bit faster. Okay. Next topic that we need to discuss is okay, as given here, block diagram of computer system. Okay, second topic. First topic is done. Definition, understanding the data, understanding the information is done. Now we'll be studying about the block diagram of computer. ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ತುಂಬಾ questions ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ detailed ಆಗಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay. Okay. Now, talking about the computer, as I told you, you give input. Sorry, let me erase this. Okay. How does a computer work? You give some input. The input that is given will be processed, and then it is giving some output alva. Idanna ee whole process anna ನಾವು block diagram of computer system anta ಕರಿತೀವಿ, simple ಆಗಿ. In layman terms, if I have to say what is block diagram of a computer, this is how it is. Whatever input you give, I'm not talking about data here. Data is one form of way you give inputs to the computer. Okay, generally in whatever form you give an input, okay, that input will be processed, and whatever output it gives, okay, this whole process ಏನ್ processful ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವೇನ್ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಈ ತರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, input unit irutte, keyboard and mouse we use to give inputs. Okay, then you will have an output unit. In between we have an important thing that we call it as a whole CPU, central processing unit. Have you heard about this before? You might have heard. Computer and ಗೊತ್ತಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ you know few things. One of that is CPU, the most important thing. Okay, for the whole processing work, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ process ಅಂತ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀನಿ, the whole processing work ಆಗೋದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ, ಸಿಪಿಯು ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್. ಇದನ್ನ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಫುಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಿಪಿಯು ಅಂತ. ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. They ask very basic questions. You don't have to study very advanced form to know the computer in detail and all those. They ask you very basic questions. One basic question they have asked is the full form of CPU. Okay, they will confuse you with giving a lot of other words and all. Central something else, and unit, for unit they will use something else. Okay, so be careful. Central processing unit is this. Okay, nothing else. Basically, within the CPU, we have three units. Okay, the first one is arithmetic and logic unit. In short, we call it as ALU. Idanna kuda kelidare. Idanna kuda full form agi kelidare. What is ALU anta? Okay, then we have control unit. Okay, CU anta. Then we have memory unit. Basically, memory unit ಗಿಂತಲೂ ಈ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ನ ನಡುವೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದಿದೆ. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಶೋನ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್. ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಅಸ್ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಅಂತ. ನೀವೇನು ಈ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಟು ಡ್ರಾ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್. ಓಕೆ, ಮೆಮರಿ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಶೋ ಸಪರೇಟ್ಲಿ. ನೀವು ಹಿಂಗ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬೋದು ನೋಡಿ. ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಇಟ್ ಗಾಟ್ ಮಿಸ್ಡ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ALU, arithmetic and logic unit. We have something called register, very important because register ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. And then we have control unit. Okay, so they go on exchanging data like this within the process. Okay, This is ALU. And then we have memory. Tappalla, this diagram is not wrong, but you can write it like this. Then we have output unit. Okay. Okay. So let us discuss one by one. What are these and everything. Okay. First, we'll discuss about input unit. Input unit is nothing but whichever device you use to give inputs. Device you use to give inputs to computer. Inputs to computer. We call it as input unit. Whatever devices that you use to give inputs to the computer, you call it as input unit. ಇಲ್ಲಿ example ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ keyboard, mouse. Still we have a lot of examples you can write because these things will be discussing in detail. Joystick. Can you give me some other examples? Scanner, very good. Scanner. Then any other examples of input unit? Scanner. New exam ಬರೀತೀರಿ OMR. Is it an input unit? Huh? Yes, it's an input unit. You round up. Basically, now putting OMR, whenever you write the exam, actually, they given OMR which is synchronized with the computer. Okay, mouse is already given in the example. OMR. Then you can write OCR. So some of the format we'll be studying in detail. MICR, which you use in bank actually. MICR banks use it. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಚೆಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ. ನೀವು ಚೆಕ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಚೆಕ್ ಅಥೆಂಟಿಕ್ ಅಂತ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ MICR ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Okay. Then we have digitizer. Write all these examples, guys. Don't leave it. Digitizer. Okay, biometrics. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆಧಾರ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್. Okay, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆಧಾರ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ನ ಇದು ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಿ. Basically, your iris scan and all those. Then we have digital camera. Digital camera. These are some of the examples. Trackball. Trackball is used in navigation and all those. Then stylus. What is stylus? What is stylus? Let me see how many of you know it. Actually, I'm using it now. ನಾನು ಇವಾಗ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಐ ರೈಟ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ನೋಟ್ಸ್. ಎಸ್ ಪೆನ್, ಎಸ್ ಪೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಎಸ್ ಪೆನ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಟೈಲಸ್. ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಪೆನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಿತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸ್ಟೈಲಸ್. ಸಿ ಲುಕ್ ಎಟ್, we are using the computer devices in the tabs and fonts as well. Okay, actually font is also a computer device. What is after MS? Digitizer. Digitizer. These are some of the examples. Okay, please don't worry, all these things in details we'll be studying. We have a separate chapter ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಲ್ವಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಮೂರನೇ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಡಿವೈಸಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ನ. ಇವಾಗ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಗೋಸ್ಕರ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Okay, they can ask you, they can ask you some 4 examples, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, they can say which among the following is not a input device. Okay, just simple questions. Just need to get through it as well. Okay, so some of the examples. Now, going to the output unit. What is output unit? Device that displays information. We call it as output unit. Device that displays information. Display and ತಕ್ಷಣ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. The first and the foremost thing is monitor. Already ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. Then we have computer. Printer. Printer. ನೋಡಿ, ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾನರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾನರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅನ್ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ನೀವು ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾನರ್ ಅನ್ನು. ಬಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅನ್ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಡಿವೈಸ್. ಯು ಗೆಟ್ ದ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್. ನೀವು ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನ either you'll convert it into a PDF in a soft copy, or you create it in hard copy through printer. Okay, that is a catch here. Scanner is a input device. Scanner is not an output device. Printer is an output device because you get a result out of it. Yes, projector. Yes, good. Projector, printer, speaker, audio speakers, all those. Projector. Okay, these are some of the examples of output devices. So input type, output type. Those are very simple. Hopefully you know it ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. ಏನು ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ವೆರಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ದ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್, CPU ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನೋಡೋಣ ಒನ್ ಬೈ ಒನ್. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ CPU? CPU ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನೇನಿದೆ? ಆಸ್ ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ, there are 3 parts in CPU. The first one is arithmetic and logic unit. The second one is register, and the third one is control unit. First, let us understand what is arithmetic and logic unit. Barkul. It is an unit where actual operation take place. If you are done with all this, I'll erase. Okay. It is an unit where the actual operation take place. Simple definition. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಇವಾಗ ನೀವು ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ, ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಫ್ ಎಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ಅನ್ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್, ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್, some operations has to take place, the processing has to take place. The actual operation ಆಗುವ ಆ system within the CPU, we call it as arithmetic and logic unit. Okay, and it is not done. For the purpose of exam, you need to understand it performs following functions or following operation. It performs following operations. First one is arithmetic operation. As the term says, arithmetic operation. Arithmetic operation ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Can you name some of the arithmetic operation? All this plus, minus, into, division, percentage. Percentage, etc. These are all arithmetic operations. Then it also performs logical operations. ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Logical operations. Logical operation ಅಂದ್ರೆ and, or, not, ಇಂಥ operations. Okay. Then it also performs comparison operations. Comparison operation. Okay. Arithmetic, logical, comparison. Comparison greater than, smaller than, greater than or equal to, smaller than or equal to, double, equal to. Okay. Now you will have doubt. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಅಂತ. Double, equal to, what is equal to, those things will have doubts. ನೋಡಿ, in simple thing, what I have to say is, ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಭಾಷೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ? When I speak in Kannada, you can understand. Can computer understand Kannada? Can computer understand English? Can it understand? Is it like a human being? No, right? It has a particular language. We call it as language of computer. We have a separate chapter for it. You might have seen in the syllabus. Okay. Where is it? Programming language and the 7th chapter. Okay, we'll be studying in detail. For now, you know it that whatever input you try to give in the computer might not understand. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾಷೆ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ಗೆ ಹಾಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಓನ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್. ಇಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಓನ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್. If at all it has to understand whatever inputs you give. For example, in the keyboard, I type A. When I type A, computer does not understand that it has A. Computer uses its language. One such language we call it as binary language. Okay, one such language we call it as binary language. Basically, whatever inputs you give, computer will understand in two formats, 1 and 0. Binary is nothing but 1 and 0. ನೀವೇನೇ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಿ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ when I type A, computer might take it like 0, 0, 0, 1, 0. A might be programmed in computerized like this, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0. I mean, I'm giving random examples. Don't write these examples. Are you getting it? So, basically, when I try to give any kind of input, computer does not understand as it is. Okay? Computer is set in such a way that those information will be transformed to a binary language and computer will take that binary language. Are you getting it? And by using of this binary language, computer does all this operation. Maybe arithmetic operation, maybe logical operation, maybe comparison operation. Simple. ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುವಂತಹ ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. They use it, it will use its language and it convert that information into a binary language and so that it will understand. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? This is what it does. Even when you use your phone, it happens the same way. There are some devices which processes this data. ಆ ಡಾಟಾನ ನೀವು ಕೊಟ್ಟ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುವ ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಥಪಡಿಸಿ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ಆರ್ ಯು ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್? ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಿಂಗ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಆರ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅರಿಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಮತ್ತು ಲಾಜಿಕ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೇ ಆಗುವಂತದ್ದು. ನೀವೇನ್ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಐಮ್ ಟೈಪಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ABC. ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ಬೈನರಿ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್. ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಬೈನರಿ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು 1-0 ಫಾರ್ಮೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಅದು ABC ಅಂತ ಮಾನಿಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ನೋಡಿ, ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ABC ಅಂತ ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಬೈನರಿ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾನಿಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್. ಬಟ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಡಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ABC. ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ABC ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಬೈನರಿ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ಯು ನೀಡ್ ಟು ನೋ. Very, very important. Don't assume that when I type A, computer understand it like A and it will present it. No, it doesn't do so. It understands it in a binary language. Clear about arithmetic, arithmetic and logic unit? Any doubts? Let us move to the next one. I told the most important one. Avaga diagram draw madidde. I have erased it. The next one is register. Register. Okay, this is the diagram basically. ALU, register. Okay, control unit. This is how the information exchange happens. Okay, we have below memory, output, input. Okay, henceforth I'll be using these two terms, IP and OP. And the IP means input, OP means output. Okay, the second one is register. What is register? Write down. It is a device used to store data temporarily. Very, very important. It is a device used to store data temporarily. It is a device used to store data temporarily. What do you understand by that? Very simple. See, when I say registered, you give a lot of data to the computer. ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಡಾಟಾನ ನಾನು ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ಆಗಿ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಟೆಂಪರರಿ ಆಗಿ ಕೆಲವು ಡಾಟಾನ ನಾನು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸಿ, ಅಮಾಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್, with respect to exam, the most number of questions have come from register. Register ಇಂದ ತುಂಬಾ ಸತಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ವೆರಿ, ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಇನ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿ ಟು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಡಾಟಾ ಟೆಂಪರರಿಲಿ. ಟೆಂಪರರಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಡಾಟಾವನ್ನ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ವಿದಿನ್ ದ CPU. ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್. ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಬೇರೆ ಏನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಡಾಟಾ ಟೆಂಪರರಿಲಿ. And it has got one more name. Okay, it is also called as set of flip-flop. ಇದನ್ನು ಈ ಹೆಸರಲ್ಲೂ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Register is also called as set of flip-flop. Set of flip-flop. Okay, they have asked once. Set of flip-flop ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತ. ಅದು register is also called as. Okay. And talking about register further, it is a small device actually. It is a small device used to store only one bit of information. One bit of information. One bit of information. One bit of information is nothing but this. This is the bit. 1 is 1 bit, 0 is 1 bit. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ನಾವೇನ್ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅವಾಗ ಟೆಂಪರರಿ ಆಗಿ ಡಾಟಾವನ್ನು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಅ ಸೆಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಲಿಪ್ ಫ್ಲಾಪ್. And it is basically a small device where it is used to store only one bit of information. Tumba alla. It only stores one bit of information temporarily, not too much. Artha aita? Is it clear? This is all you need to know about register. Hopefully you are making your notes. Notes ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. Okay. Clear about register? Okay. Moving further. Register is done. Moving further. The last one is control unit. Control unit. Control unit. As the name itself says, control ಅಂತ ಏನು control ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಿರ್ಬೋದು, what it might be. See, CPU has a lot of operations. Arithmetic and logic unit ಇದೆ, register ಇದೆ, memory ಇದೆ, ಇನ್ನಿತರ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ವಿಚಾರಗಳಿದೆ. Like in a basic CPU setup, it looks like this. Basic CPU setup. The modern setup, there are a lot of things within the CPU. Everything works within the CPU itself nowadays. Okay. In that sense, there requires someone to coordinate all these activities. ಎಲ್ಲ activities ಅನ್ನ coordinate ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಬೇಕು CPU ಒಳಗಡೆ. And that ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ is nothing but this one, CU, control unit of the CPU. Write down. It manages and coordinates all the units of the computer system. Manages and coordinates all the units of computer system. Computer science allado computer system. Manages and coordinates all the units of computer system. Okay. So ಒಟ್ಟು ಈ CPU ಅಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಎಲ್ಲ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ಅಥವಾ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ, ನೋಡಿ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಎಲ್ ಜೊತೆ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಜೊತೆ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಇದೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್, ಈ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಕೆಲಸ ಯಾರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ CPU ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Clear? That's all you need to know about control unit. Then the last one is memory. What is memory? Memory can be part of the register, no doubt. It can be a part of register, but specifically, memory is something where you store data temporarily or permanently. Temporarily or permanently. For example, ನೀವು ಪೆನ್ ಡ್ರೈವ್ ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀರಲ್ವಾ, ಪೆನ್ ಡ್ರೈವ್. Sometimes you can store data there for a temporary period. Sometimes you can store it for permanent. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? That is nothing but memory. Memory ತುಂಬಾ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. All these RAM activities are basically memory, RAM. Okay. Some problem with this then actually. RAM. Okay. So we'll be studying memory devices on ಕಲಿತೀವಿ. Again, we have this chapter separately, I suppose. Yeah. Let us say. Yeah, computer memory and the fourth chapter ಇದೆ. We'll be studying in detail about that. Is it clear, guys? The second topic. Is it clear? Just go through it once from the beginning. We have discussed two things here. In the introduction of computer, we discussed the basic introduction. Then we have discussed about this CPU. Okay, block diagram. Block diagram is discussed. Okay. And the third one is remaining a small topic that is nothing but a data processing cycle. So looks good, no? So that first chapter will be done. Data processing cycle. Okay. Let us understand what is data processing cycle. As the name itself says, actually, basically it is a process. On what all process does it take for the data to get processed? Okay, it is all the procedures that it takes for the data to get processed. Okay, we have four basically data processing cycle. The first one is fetch. It is the first process among the data processing cycle. The second one is decode. You need to know this process. The third one is execute. The fourth one is store. Simple. Okay, remember in the same order. Should go in the same order. Okay. So this is the data processing cycle. Fetch, decode, execute, store. Fetch, decode, execute, store. Sorry. Fetch, decode, execute, store. Okay. Now talking about each and every part. What is fetch? I fetch a book andre ಏನು ಅರ್ಥ? I take a book ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ವಾ? Okay. Same way, it is nothing but taking the data. Taking the data in. Okay. Data na ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂತದ್ದು inside. Taking the data. Fetch is nothing but taking the data. What is decoder? Now I have given some random data to the computer. Let us assume. ಏನೋ ಸೆನ್ಸಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, I took the census of whole Karnataka for that matter. Now I give all this data to the computer. That is fetch. I'm giving the data. Okay. So computer is taking the data basically. I'm giving the data. Now what will computer do after taking the data? What it has to do? It has to decode ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ರೀತಿಯ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಡಿಕೋಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. So basically decode is nothing but decide what to do ಅಂತ. Decide what to do. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. Whatever data it takes, it has to decide what to do. And once it decides what to do, it has to take action. Simple. Execute. Action to be taken. You can write. ಏನ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ತೆಗಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. But execute. Physically, what actions has to be taken. And the last one, after the taking proper actions, it will store in the memory. Okay, it will store in the memory. This is the whole data process. It is simple. Fetch the data, nothing but it takes the data. Then it decides what to do with the data. Then it takes the actions on it. Okay. See, execute the word in the polity we have, right? Executive. Execute actually they do the actions, right? So you put again execution, nothing but actions to be taken, and then it will store the data. Simple. This is the whole data processing cycle. So that completes chapter 1 for you. Quickly go through it. If you have any doubts, please do ask. Before going further, I'll tell you some things. What we will be doing is, one thing is the class notes, as usual. So class notes itself is not comprehensive. ನಾನು ಪ್ರತಿ ವಿಚಾರವನ್ನ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಸಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಮೈ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಟು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಕೋಡ್ ದ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯು. ಈಚ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್ ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನ ಡಿಕೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ, ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನನ್ನ ಕೆಲಸ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ಒನ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಒನ್, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎನಿ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೀಡ್. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಓದಿ, ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವ್ದು ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಡೂ, ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಈಚ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಸೆಂಡ್ ಯು ಎ PDF. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ PDF. ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನಿಮಗೆ PDF ಅನ್ನ ಕಳಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. Book is. We have a book here written by one of the faculties. Okay, we are using that book. Or if you want, you can buy that book itself. Its name is Computer Knowledge by Spardha Unnati. Okay, right here. So getting that book from any center, you can get it. Computer Knowledge. Okay, author is D.A. Gautam sir. D.A. Gautam. This is a book we use. If you are using any other book in Canada or whatever, you can use it. It's not a Spardha Unnati publication. Okay. Spardha Unnati publication. So revised edition ಅಂತ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, old edition ತಗೋಬೇಡಿ. Revised edition ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನೇ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. Okay. So if you are not able to buy this book, absolutely fine. We will send PDF chapter wise to you after completion of each class. Don't worry. You can just read that, more than enough. Solve the questions that we give, that is more than enough. And this is the first thing, okay? Then ಇಷ್ಟನ್ನ ನೀವು ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. After completing one class and if you are going to the next class, what I will do is, before starting the class, I'll play a test. I'll play a test ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಟ ಆಡೋದು ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ಲ. A test will be presented to you in the Zoom itself. Zoom ಅಲ್ಲೇ ನೀವು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮೊದಲು ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್, ಇದು ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ, ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಏನ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅದರ ಆಧಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಟೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಎ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್, ದೆನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಆನ್ ಇಟ್. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ನ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದು ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸಿಂಪಲ್. ಓಕೆ, ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸಿಂಗ್ ದ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಯಿಂಗ್ ದ ರಿಮೈನಿಂಗ್ ಪೋರ್ಷನ್ಸ್. ಹಿಂಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, for example, today I complete a particular portion, right? What I'll be doing is, tomorrow before starting the next class, we'll quickly have a test. We'll quickly have a discussion about the answers, and then we'll move to the next topics. Okay, all the topics that is given in the syllabus will go as it is. Is that fine, guys, to everyone? And separate ಆಗಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕೂಡ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹೆಂಗೆ ನಾವು ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ತರ ಬರಿತೀವಿ, ಅದು ಹೆಂಗೂ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. That is however going to happen. This is separate. I'll bring some 10 to 15 questions, not more than that. 10-15 questions ತರ್ತೀನಿ. It is not like a test. You test yourself. ನೀವು ಓದಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. And material, stick to this. ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಒಂದು PDF material. Okay. ಮತ್ತೆ previous year question paper. Don't worry about previous year question paper. Questions, previous year questions will be given as a test itself. You don't have to worry. ಈ ಪೋರ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣನೇ ಒಂದ್ 2-3 ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಇಯರ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ನ ಆಧಾರದಲ್ಲೇ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಇಯರ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ನಾಟ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್. ಯು ಆರ್ ಪ್ಲಾನಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಇಯರ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್. ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸಮ್ ಅದರ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ, ನೋ ಡೌಟ್. ಬೇರೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಫೋಕಸಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ PYQs. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಯು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್, ಓಕೆ, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅದರ ಆಧಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಿಪರೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೂಡ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಎನಿ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್? So shall we move to the second chapter? Do you want to? Shall we move to the second chapter? If you want to revise, quick revise it. ಬೇಗದನ್ನ ಓದಿ. Okay. Okay. The second chapter, as it is given, it is history of computer. Okay, just go through. I'll give you 1 minute of time. Quickly go through whatever you have written. ಇವಾಗಲೇ ರಿವೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡಿ ಅವನ್ನ. They can ask you a question like, what is another name for register? What is register? What does it do? Does it store more than 1 bit of information? ಈ ತರ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. ಡಾಟಾ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ನ ಈ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಫೆಚ್, ಡಿಕೋಡ್, ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್, ಸ್ಟೋರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇದರ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ನ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು ಅವರು. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ನೇಮ್ ಗೋ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್. FTFS ಅಂತ. ಈಸಿ ಟು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್. FTFS ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಇ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸಾರಿ, FTES. You have to use mnemonics to study those things. Easy to remember. Then the CPU. What are some of the examples of input device and output device? Okay, they can ask you some 4 devices, and they can give you 4 devices and ask which among the following is not an input device or output device ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. Okay, and the CPU ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರುವಂತ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್, ALU unit, control unit, memory unit, register. Okay, then we have discussed little bit input, ಇದು ಯಾವುದು ಡಾಟಾ ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ನಡುವೆ ಇರುವಂತ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್. ಡಾಟಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು. ಸೊ ಇಷ್ಟು ವಿಚಾರವನ್ನ ಕಲ್ಪನೆ. Let us move to the next one. Next one is purely factual, guys. History we are talking about. Okay, we'll be studying how computer is evolved and all those. Okay, yeah, we'll start with history of computer. Okay, you can write it. I can give you this PDF as well. It's not a big deal. I'll share after the class. Okay, so actually, who is the father of computer? I want the answer again. Who's called the
Charles
father of
Babbage.
computer? Charles Babbage. Okay, I want to prove it wrong today because computer ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅನಾಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಇಂಜಿನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಬಿಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತದ್ದು ಯಾರು? ಚಾರ್ಲ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಬೇಜ್. But before that, there were some devices that were introduced into the world which has done the functions of a computer. ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಏನ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಚಾರ್ಲ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಬೇಜ್ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಂತಹ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ಕೆಲವು ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಕಲ್ ಡಿವೈಸ್, ಮ್ಯಾನುವಲ್ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಕಂಡು ಹಿಡಿದಿದ್ರು ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಚಾರ್ಲ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಬೇಜ್. ಚಾರ್ಲ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಬೇಜ್ ಕೇಮ್ ಸಮ್ವೇರ್ ಎಟ್ 1830s, ಐ ಸಪೋಸ್. 1830 ಅವರು ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿತಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನ, 30 ಓಕೆ. ಬಟ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ದಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್, ಬಿಫೋರ್ 1830s itself, there were few inventions that were already there in the world which does the function of a computer. Let us discuss it one by one. The first and the foremost is the abacus. How many of you are aware of abacus? ಈ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅಬ್ಯಾಕಸ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ವೇರ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಿಕ್ಲಿ ಬೈ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಯುವರ್ ಫಿಂಗರ್ಸ್. ಒಂಥರ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಅದು ಅಬ್ಯಾಕಸ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ದಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಫೌಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಅಬ್ಯಾಕಸ್, ಫೌಂಡ್ ಬೈ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಫೌಂಡ್ ಬೈ ಚೈನೀಸ್ ಇನ್ 1602 when British came to India. ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಎಂಟರ್ಡ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ somewhere in 1600s. ಈಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಕಂಪನಿ ಸೆಟಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ 1600s ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ಯಾವ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅದನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು? ಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್. Presently we use abacus for counting only, plus, minus, into, divisions and all those. Okay, so it is used for counting and it is the first mechanical device. This is very important. First mechanical device. Going forward, next device that was found was Napier's bone. Napier's, you make it Napier's bone. Found out by John Napier, Scotlander. So same like abacus, it's a device again. Not that much important. Just note to know whatever is there in the column. Okay. It is used for multiplication. Okay. Next, slide rule, William Outward. Here, the important thing is logarithm. So logarithm has changed something. Okay. William Outred 1625 ಅಲ್ಲಿ multiplication ಮತ್ತು logarithm ಅನ್ನ use logarithm you might have seen, no? How many of you have solved using logarithm log tables? And logarithm plays an important role. Presently, if you have to know programming language and all those, logarithm plays an important role. Okay. So log tables and based on that you need to solve. So those was named as a slide rule. Okay, it was introduced by William Outred. Then comes Pascaline. Okay, Blaise Pascal is a person from France. So, like basically, they would ask you, like Blaise Pascal has founded out Pascaline. He's from which country? ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. ನೀವು ನೋಡಿ ಜನರಲಿ ಈ ಯುರೋಪಿಯನ್ ಅವರ ಹೆಸರು ನೋಡಿದಾಗಲೇ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ರು ಯಾವ ದೇಶದವರು ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಗೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಓಕೆ, ನೋಡಿ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ನೇಮ್ ಜನರಲಿ ಈ UK ಸ್ಕಾಟ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಕಡೆಯವರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ನೇಮ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಪ್ಯಾಸ್ಕಲ್, ಈ ತರ ಲೂಯಿಸ್ ಪ್ಯಾಸ್ಚರ್, ಈ ತರ ಹೆಸರೆಲ್ಲ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್. ಪ್ಯಾಸ್ಚರ್ ಈ ತರ ಹೆಸರು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ದೆನ್ ಜರ್ಮನ್ ನೇಮ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಗಾಡ್ಫ್ರೆಡ್, ಲೆಬ್ನೀಸ್, ಈ ತರನೇ ಹೆಸರು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ನೋ ದಿ ನೇಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫುಟ್ಬಾಲರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಯುರೋಪಿಯನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಸಿ ಫಾರ್ ಯು ಟು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ವಿಚ್ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ದೇ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ ಟು ಅಂತ. ಕೆಲವೊಮ್ಮೆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, sometimes it might not work also, but generally it works this. Okay, generally it works. Then, okay, mechanical calculator. Nodi, these are basically the mechanical devices. Really, these are basically mechanical devices. Okay, mechanical calculator that we use it now actually. So multiplication of the division, yeah. This Blaise Pascal arithmetic calculations, plus and minus. Okay. Then we have Jacquard's loom. Okay, Joseph Mary Jacquard. Okay, this is the first time, Nodi. First time for business purpose use ಮಾಡೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಒಂದು ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ 1801 ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ 1671 ಆದ ಮೇಲೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು 1801 ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಟಿವ್ ಥಿಂಗ್. ವೈ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟೈಲ್? ದರ್ ಈಸ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡೂ ವಿತ್ ದ ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್. ವೈ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಬೇಸ್? ಯಾಕೆ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟೈಲ್? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲೈಸೇಷನ್ in a period of industrialization in Europe. Industrialization wide scale ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು. So this person found out this device such that they are easy for, or they are to their comfortability to ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ, ಡಾಟಾ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಓಕೆ, till here, starting from abacus till Jacquard's loom, they are basically mechanical devices. Mechanical devices. Okay. Then comes your father of computer, Charles Babbage, who has found out analytical engine. ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಅನಾಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಇಂಜಿನ್ ಆಗಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತದ್ದಲ್ಲ. ಆಲ್ ವೇರ್ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಕಲ್ ಡಿವೈಸಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಲ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಬೇಜ್ ಇಸ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಡ್ ವೇರ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತು ಈ ಡಿವೈಸಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಈ 6 ಡಿವೈಸಸ್ ಏನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. You have to mechanically do it and to derive a result. For example, ನೀವು abacus ಅನ್ನ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. How do you do it? Do you get an automatic result? No. You move the bits there. Okay. Abacus ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು bits ಅನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿ, based on that you come to a derivation that is the final result ಅಂತ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? Automatically not find result. ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ they will itself not show the result. You have to derive the result out of it. ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಇದೆ, ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಸ್ಲೋಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ, ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಸ್ಲೋಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಕೌಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದರ ಬೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ abacus. All of you might have seen abacus. If you want, I can just quickly show you abacus. I can quickly show you, just a second. Abacus looks something like this. Okay, can you see it, guys? No, right? 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 Okay, can you see it, guys Hopefully you can see this. This is how the abacus looks like. Okay. ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಅದನ್ನು ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು based on the calculation. Okay, I can't teach you now. You have to move this basically, and then based on that units, tens, hundreds and units ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. Okay, so based on that you calculate. Are you getting it? Okay, so that is an important thing there. Okay, so that slide is okay. Is it visible? Yeah, fine. Okay, that's how we use it. So mechanically you need to put an effort there. Mechanically you need to put an effort there. Okay, but analytical engine ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಆಗುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿತಾರೆ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಚಾರ್ಲ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಬೇಜ್ has done it. That's why is important. That's why is called as father of computer. ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಓರಿಯೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುವಂತ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯುವಂತದ್ದು 1834 ಅಲ್ಲಿ. This year is very important. They can ask you. Okay. See, I've written here. Till then, all were manual device. Okay, and this is the first general purpose computer. ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಡಿವೈಸ್, ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಟಿಲ್ ನೌ, ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್. ಜನರಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಆಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ದಿಸ್ ವೇರ್ ಆಲ್ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಡಿವೈಸಸ್. ನೋಡಿ, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಅಬಾಕಸ್ ಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ, ದೆನ್ ನೇಪಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಬೋನ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಗೆ, ದೆನ್ ಪ್ಯಾಸ್ಕಲಿನ್ ಅರಿಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ಗೆ, ಜಾಕ್ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಲೂಮ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ಗೆ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಲ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಬೇಜ್ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿದಂತಹ ಈ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಕೀ ಹಿಯರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಜನರಲ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಟೂ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಯು ನೀಡ್ ಟು ನೋಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಅನಾಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಇಂಜಿನ್. ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್, till then there were only manual device. First time an automatic device was introduced. Manual device, automatic device ಗೆ difference ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ? Manually you need to derive the result. Here automatically it will give you a result, output. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್. ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಇದ್ವು. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ವು. ಬಟ್ ಅನಾಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಇಂಜಿನ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಜನರಲ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಅನಾಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಇಂಜಿನ್. ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್, ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ ವಿತ್ tabulating machine further after analytical engine. Hollerith. Okay, again the name, look at this. Hollerith, Hermann Hollerith, German ಹೆಸರು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, census in USA. if ಅಲ್ಲ in census in USA. Okay, US ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತದ್ದು. ದೆನ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ 1. ಓಕೆ, ಹೌವರ್ಡ್ ಅಕಿನ್ ಅಂತ. ಹೌವರ್ಡ್ ಅಕಿನ್. Let me just check the name. Wrong. Howard Akin is from USA. Okay, census is nothing but population calculation. Okay, ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? Hopefully you know it. Census population calculation ಗೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಮಾರ್ಕ್ 1 ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್. ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು 1944 ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಹಿಯರ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ 6 I have clearly told you they are basically artificial, or in simple words they are basically not automatic result deriving ಅಂತ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಅನಾಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ automatically they used to give the result. And this whole process starting from abacus till Mark 1, we had mechanical devices. ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್. ನೋಡಿ, ನಾವು ಇವಾಗ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಆರ್ ವಿ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಎ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಕಲ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ or an electronic computer? Electronic computer, correct? Okay, that transformation has happened in 1946. And the first and the foremost electronic computer introduced in the world is ENIAC. ENIAC. Write the full form. It's not given here. ENIAC. 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 Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer. Electronic Numerator. Electronic Numerator, Integrator and Computer. Integrator and Computer. So it's already given here. First time electronic digital computer was used. Okay. Analytical engine introduced by Charles Babbage was the first general purpose computer. Okay. First mechanical computer. First artificial or automatic computer. ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಮ್ಯಾನುವಲ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ digital computer use ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತದ್ದು. Okay, they were founded by JP Eckhart and JV Macaulay. Remember these names. See, whatever is given in this table is important. You cannot leave anything. Then anga by heart ಹೊಡಿಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, use some tricks, use some understanding, and by heart it. Okay, next, EDSAT. You can write the full form. Electronic Delay Storage Automatic Calculator. Electronic Delay Storage Automatic Calculator. Delay Storage Automatic Calculator. Okay, Moria Biggs and John Vaughan Newman, UK and Hungarian person, 1949 ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ನೋಡಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಯಾವ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ವೆದರ್ ಪ್ರಿಡಿಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸೈಂಟಿಫಿಕ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು ಅವಾಗ. ಅವಾಗ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಇವಾಗ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪರ್ಪಸ್ಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ, ಆ ಟೈಮಿಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಬೆಳೆದಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್. ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದು ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ವೆದರ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಿಕ್ಷನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಸೇಮ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ EDSAC, ವೆದರ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಿಕ್ಷನ್ ಸೈಂಟಿಫಿಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡಾಟಾ ಸ್ಟೋರೇಜ್. ನೋಡಿ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಸ್ಟೋರೇಜ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸ್ಟೋರೇಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತದ್ದು. ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸ್ಟೋರೇಜ್ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. EDSAC. They can ask you, the questions comes in this simple way. Which is the first computer which is the first computer for the first time we started using data storage ಅಂತ. This is the first computer which is used for data storage ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. ENIAC, EDSAC, EDVAC, UNIVAC ಅಂತ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಬಹುದು. Or they can give any options among these. Okay. So data storage first time ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತದ್ದು EDSAC ಅಲ್ಲಿ. So all this first time remember properly in proper order. Okay. Then EDVAC. You read the full form. Electronic Discrete Variable Automatic Calculator. Electronic Discrete Variable Automatic Calculator. Okay. Again, it is JP Eckhart, Macaulay, and John Vaughan Newman. These are the people associated with it. ಇವರೇ ನೋಡಿ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಹೆಸರಿದೆ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ. They only have developed it further. It used for weather prediction, data collection. Data collection use ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಈ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ನ. Okay, it's the first digital computer. Next, you will have UNIVAC. UNIVAC is nothing but Universal Automatic Computer. Simple. Universal Automatic Computer. JP Eckhart and JV Macaulay, the same people who are associated with the ENIAC, EDIAC, and EDSAC and EDVAC. Okay. So 1951 ನಲ್ಲಿ commercial, mainly for business and accounting purpose use ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Applications they would ask you guys, because ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಕಮರ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಗೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಕಮರ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್, ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಕ್ಕೂ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಕಲ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್, ನಾಟ್ ಅನ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್. ಬಟ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಮರ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತ 1951 ಅಲ್ಲಿ. JP Eckhart and Macaulay. So that completes the history behind knowing the computer. Okay, UNIVAC is the last one. Further we don't have. So I've given some pictures. This is the computer that is founded by Charles Babbage. Mechanical ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡುವಂತದ್ದು ಆ ತರ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. This is the computer that he has found out. It's more of a mechanical device, nothing else. Okay, nothing automatic here. Everything has to be done by hand itself. Then, okay. That is what we have with respect to energy. Just go through with this. ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀರಾ? Quickly write it down if you have not written. Purely factual guys, nothing much to explain here. This paper as a whole is factual only. Okay. Yeah. Quickly note it down. If you are done, just say done in the chat box. Actually, move forward. These 3 generations and types. 3 things we'll be studying in chapter 2. Generations and types. History is already done. Let's move to generations now. Okay. Basically, we have 5 generations. What is generations, guys? What do you understand by generations? What do you understand by generations? Huh? Don't you have generations? Don't write. I will discuss generation one by one. Don't write what is there in the slide. Please hold on. Don't write. I'll dictate. What do you understand by generations? ನಮಗೂ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? Your father's generation, your grandfather's generation, your great grandfather's generation ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಇದೆ. Based on its technological advancement. Okay, based on the technological advancement of the computer basically has these many generations. Basically, we are in the 5th generation. 4th generation ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ, 5th generation ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ. Presently, we are in the 5th generation. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? So we say, no, with our parents, no, generally our parents say, like, with respect to generation, if at all we are to talk, our parents say, like, ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಈಗಿನ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಕ್ಳ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊಬೈಲೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ದರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್. Same way, computer also has got its own generation gaps. As technology developed, the generation got changed. First generation basic format of computer was used, 1945 to 56 time. Second generation self advancement type. Third generation further advancement. Fourth generation further advancement. Fifth generation we are in the era of robotics. We are in the era of artificial intelligence, which comes under fifth generation. Simple. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತದೆಯಾ? That is a kind of technological advancement we had. ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನದ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನದ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆಯ ಆಧಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಜನರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ in a rough format in NCERT they are divided into 5 generations. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? And we'll discuss one by one. ಇದು ಏನು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈಚ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಈ ವಿಚಾರವನ್ನ ಓದ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು. Okay, each generation, for example, when I take first generation, we'll be discussing its calculation, memory, devices, speed, programming language examples. So that is the work we have to do. First generation ಏನಿದೆ, second generation ಏನಿದೆ, third generation ಏನಿದೆ, with that we'll be discussing now one by one. Getting it, guys? Okay, yeah. Generation is the advancement of technology. Right on. Generation is an advancement of technology. It's nothing but ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನದ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ. ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ is nothing but ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನದ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ. There's some problem with this pen. Okay, we'll discuss one by one. First, let us take first generation. First generation ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ ಇತ್ತು, what kind of technology they were using ಅಂತ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. Okay, one by one. So it starts from 1946 to 56. Sorry, 45 to 56. The time period of first generation. Okay, consider it as your great grandfather. Okay, so that you'll easily remember. First one, for the purpose of calculation or operation, they used to use a vacuum tube. It's a device. Vacuum tube. Calculation ಮತ್ತು ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ಗೆ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಯೂಮ್ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು. What is it and all those is not required. Just remember this. Okay. For the purpose of memory, they used to use magnetic drum. For the purpose of memory, they used to use magnetic drum. Magnetic drum. Next, IPOP ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? What is IPOP devices ಅಂದ್ರೆ? It's nothing but input output devices. Okay. ಅವಾಗ ಮೌಸ್ ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇತ್ತಾ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ? ಇದ್ದಿರಬಹುದಾ? Just tell me. At that point of time, is there a possibility of mouse and keyboard? Which time we are in? E time ಅಲ್ಲಿ complex calculation ಮಾಡೋ time ಅಲ್ಲಿ. No, there is no possibility of having mouse and keyboard at that point of time. Okay, but they had a input and output device we call it as punch card. Punch card. Basically, it's a manual device. Punch card. It's a manual device. Punch card ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು. Punch card looks like this guys. ನೋಡಿದೀರಾ punch card? ನೀವು ಹಳೆ KSRTC ಬಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ you might see, no, ticket was not computerized. ಇವಾಗಿರುವಂತ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರೈಸ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಮಿಷಿನ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಟಿಕೆಟ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವಾಗ ಪಂಚ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ಹಣ 20 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ 2 ಮತ್ತು 0ಗೆ ಪಂಚ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಹಾಗೆ ಸೀನ್ ಇಟ್. ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬಸ್ಸಲ್ಲೇ ಹೋಗಿಲ್ವಾ ನೀವು? ಯು ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ವೇರ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಥ್ರೂ ಬಸ್ಸಸ್, ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬಸ್ಸಸ್. Have you seen that punch card? Basically, those are the kind of device at that point of time. Because we are using a manual device ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಇದು manual device ನ period ಆಗಿತ್ತಲ್ವಾ? Okay, so ನಮ್ಗೆ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಅಂತ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಏನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ನಮ್ಮ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ನಾವು ಯಾವ್ದೋ ನೋಡಿದೀವಿ. Even we might not have seen. Yeah, it looks like a book. It looks like a book. Okay, we might not have seen you know ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೀವಿ? ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೀವಿ. Yeah, no, I'm just giving examples. Paper tickets of this is an example of punch based application. ಅದನ್ನ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ example ಆಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ example ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Okay, those kind of things were used as an IP and OP devices to give output. Same like that. House and tabular paper tickets. Okay. Fine. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಾನು. KSRTC ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಪಂಚ್. We have this punching mission. No, we punch it. No, same way it is to punch and it is to give the output. Okay, that's how it is. Then speed. 10 to the power minus 3. We call it as milliseconds. 10 to the power minus 3. Sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't write seconds here. We call it as milliseconds. That is nothing but 10 to the power minus 3 seconds. 10 to the power minus 3 seconds. That's speed. Okay. We call it as milliseconds. They would ask 10 to the power minus 3 is milliseconds. Then, what is the programming language? Low-level language. Okay, I'll discuss a language in brief here to make you understand better. Basically, I can divide language into 3 types. Computer language and 3 types ಆಗಿ divide ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Okay, the first one is ಯಾವುದು? ಅವಾಗ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಾನು. This is a language that we use to give one bit of information. Binary language. Yes, good. Binary language. Okay. The other one is intermediary, or we call assembly level anta. The third one is the kind of language that we use now, high level language, in Java, C++, okay, etc. ಈ ತರ ಏನು ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೈ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಬೈನರಿ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಅಸ್ ಲೋ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್. And as I already told you, it is giving information in 1 or 0 format. Simple. Okay. So system ಅನ್ನ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ನೀವೇನೇ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ 1 or 0 ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಡೋಂಟ್ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಬಿಯಾಂಡ್ ದಟ್. ಹಿಂಗೆ ಅದು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಅಂತ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಡಿ. ಇಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ಥ್ರೂ 1 or 0 ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟ್. ಸಿಂಪಲ್. ಲೋ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಡಿಟೇಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್, ಡೋಂಟ್ ವರಿ. ಬೈನರಿ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಇದರ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಮುಂದೆ. ಡೋಂಟ್ ವರಿ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಟ್. ಸೊ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಿಂಗ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್, ಲೋ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್, ಈ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಬೈನರಿ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ that we discuss: ENIAC, EDSAC, EDVAC, UNIVAC. These are all examples of first generation computers. One more examples outside of this: IBM 650 anta. IBM 650. IBM 650. IBM is nothing but International Business Machine. It's a company name. IBM, International Business Machine. It has got another name. Okay, examples pretty important. Big Blue anta. Big Blue. So the examples. So this is about first generation computer. Remember, for calculation operation, we use vacuum tube, memory, magnetic drum, IPOP device, punch card. It's a manually made device. Speed milliseconds, 10 to the power minus 3 per second. Then programming language, very low level language, basically the binary languages in the format of 0 and 1. Examples as given here. Then let's move to the next one, second generation. Okay. Memory is it, but I can write here itself. Second generation will be discussing now. Okay, there is a transformation now, right? Okay, for the operation, they started using transistor. Okay, so vacuum tube to there is a transformation transistor. Memory divisor, magnetic tape. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಡ್ರಮ್ ಅನ್ನಲ್ವಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಟೇಪ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಕೋರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಟೇಪ್ ಮತ್ತು ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಕೋರ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ IPOP ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಪಂಚ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ 1970s okay we didn't move, sorry 1964 sorry we didn't move further so punch card was still be used as a IPOP devices speed up has increased milliseconds to microseconds easy to remember ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲ 5 ಜನರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಅದನ್ನು ನ್ಯೂ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ 10 to the power -6 ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ -3 ಇತ್ತು -6 to the power -6 is nothing but a millionth time ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ microseconds then programming language is read using high level language so some of the high level languages examples you need to remember example ಇದೆಲ್ಲ programming language examples COBOL COBOL it is one language that is being used the other one is Fortran ನೀವು ಕೇಳಿರಬಹುದು ಈ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ Fortran and COBOL COBOL is nothing but common business oriented language ಅಂತ this is a high level language ನೋಡಿ language ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ basically this is the system where it takes the input given to the computer in a particular language ಅರ್ಥಾತ್ ಇವಾಗ ಸಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಿಂಗ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಜಾವಾ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಜಾವಾ ಇಸ್ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಭಾಷೆ ಇವಾಗ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುದಿಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ನಾನು ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ನ ಅದೇ ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ಜಾವನ್ನ ನನ್ನ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಜೊತೆ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅದು ಜಾವಾ ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ ನಾನು ಏನು ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ ಅದು ಜಾವಾ ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಇದ್ದಂತ ಎರಡು ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಕೊಬೋಲ್ ಮತ್ತು ಫಾರ್ಟ್ರನ್ ಫುಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಕಾಮನ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಓರಿಯೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಈ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಓರಿಯೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾದಂತ ಒಂದು ಭಾಷೆ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಕೊಬೋಲ್ ಕಾಮನ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಓರಿಯೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ and Fortran is very simple you might have heard before formula translation Fortran is nothing but formula translation next examples not that important they are not asked it till now you can write sketch the examples of the computer arch then CDC 3600 CDC 3600 these are the examples of second generation computers clear ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ತುಂಬಾ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ but it has to be remembered this paper is like that you want to clear the exam you have to suit ourselves to the requirement of the exam simple
So what have you written for memory?
memory magnetic tape and magnetic core okay so that ends second generation let's move to the third generation now okay third generation 1964 to 71 1964 to 71 so operation for the first time integrated circuit was used integrated circuit in short we call it as ICM ನೋಡಿ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಇದೆ taking the picture of it to show you this is how the integrated circuit looks have you seen it somewhere CPU ನ ಬಿಚ್ಚಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ನೀವು at home or somewhere? You might find this device, right? This is called integrated circuit. Yes, it is called integrated circuit. Okay. For the memory, okay. Integrated circuit ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ because they have asked questions before. It was founded in 1958. 1958. It was founded by a person by name Jack Kilby. Okay, they can ask you integrated circuit ಯಾರು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಯಾವ ಇಯರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ. Which mineral or which resource is used to build this device, integrated circuit? ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? It is formed by using silicon. It is formed by using silicon as a resource. Remember these two things, three things. In fact, the name of the person, when it was founded, and the resource that is used to build it. Basically, the silicon. Silicon is the mineral resource that is used. Okay. Then talking about the memory, magnetic core. Second generation use ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು ಅದನ್ನೇ magnetic core. Magnetic core. Then input and output devices. Here we started using keyboard, mouse, monitor. All these things started in during this time, third generation. Keyboard. KB is nothing but keyboard, mouse, monitor is not start ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Okay, speed. What should be the speed, guys? Assuming the other two, first and second generation, we call it as nanoseconds. It is 10 to the power minus 9, minus 3, minus 6, minus 9. ಅದೇ ತರ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. So, you know what is fourth generation? 10 to the power minus 12. ಅಲ್ವಾ? Okay, 10 to the power minus 15 ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ easy. Nanoseconds. Okay, programming language. Again, it is a high level language. Okay, they still use COBOL, Photon. Have you heard about Photon before? ಕೇಳಿರ್ಬೋದು ನೀವು. PHOTON. Full form is not required. Photon. These are the examples of high level language. Programming language that is used in third generation. Examples. IBM 360, 370. Then Spectra 70 are some of the examples. Okay. What is IBM? Yes. By speed is nothing but, see, when I type something, no, how much, at what speed does it give the output ಅಂತ. ನಾನು ಇವಾಗ ಎಕ್ಸೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೊಂದು ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, at what time it would be able to give the output ಅಂತ. That is speed. Speed is nothing but that. So as generation improve, the speed also improve. ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಫೋನ್ ನೋಡಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಲೈಕ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಸೀಯಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಂಡ್ರಾಯ್ಡ್ ಫೋನ್, ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಲೋ. ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ ಟಚ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ like it used to give the output. But presently, how is the phone? I mean, how is the speed of the phone that you use? Alva, whenever we go to the shop, we ask how is the screen speed? Alva. So presently, we don't have to touch the screen. Just by waving it, it will move. That's the kind of technology we have. It's a kind of transformation of technology that has happened. Now, third generation, we discuss marketing. It's very old one actually. What is the full form of IBM, guys? Already being told. Yes, International Business Missions. Okay, good. IBM 360, 370. So IBM now kuda, previously they didn't have this technology. Presently they are having an advanced technology. Okay, IBM 650 ಅಂತ ಇತ್ತು. Now the new technology developed IBM 360, 370 series ಅಲ್ಲಿ computers ಅನ್ನ release ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು. Okay, that is about third generation. So we move to the fourth one quickly. Hopefully you have written everything. Along with me, please do write. Okay. Next, fourth generation, 1971 to present ಅಂತ. Present ಅಂತ ಯಾಕಂತ ಹಾಕಿದ್ವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ present we still use this fourth generation computer itself. ಈ ಕೆಲವು ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫೀಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಕೂಡ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಡೆಸ್ಕ್ಟಾಪ್ ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ನೋಡಿದೀರಾ? ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ರಿಲೆವೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. Okay. Yeah, now there is a big transformation that happens. In terms of operation, we use nothing but the microprocessors. The most important one, microprocessor. We started using microprocessor. Still, now we use it in audio board. It's very small device. I'll just show you the picture. ಇದನ್ನ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಪ್ರೊಸೆಸರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. And Intel was the first company, okay, to produce this microprocessor. We'll be writing about it. Ille microprocessor, same like the internet circuit, microprocessor. Intel was the first company to produce it. ಇವಾಗಲೂ ಕೂಡ Intel ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು. If you just go and open the CPU, you'll find a microprocessor named after the company Intel. ನೋಡಿದೀರಾ? Have you seen it? Okay, don't try to open up any computers at home and get scoldings from your parents. It's okay. Just know it as Intel. Okay, it was founded in 1971. 1971. And the first microprocessor is called as Intel 4004. It's the first microprocessor produced by Intel. The company name is Intel. Okay. Its capacity was, it was able to give 4-bit information at that point of time. 4-bit information. Okay. Just know this about microprocessor. 1971, Intel 4004 is the first microprocessor. Look at this. It looks like this. Okay. Yeah. Moving forward, talking about the memory. What type of memory do we use now? ಯಾವ ತರ memory store ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯ memory device ನ use ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? Do you know it? RAM. Okay, RAM is a name. That's basically random access memory ಅಂತ. ROM. No, I'm not talking about it. What type of device do we use? What do you call it? We call it as chips. Not your lace. Chips is nothing but those memories. Okay. Do I have the picture? Let me just check. Oh, I don't have it. Chips ನೋಡಿದಿರಲ್ವಾ? Basically all your memory chips, memory cards that we use, memory chips. Okay, that is the memory that we use. We have transformed from the previous one. We used to use magnetic core, now we use chips. Your memory card chips you might have seen. Even if you open a pen drive, inside there is a chip. Pen drive ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ದೊಡ್ಡದಿರುತ್ತೆ, but chip is very small inside. Have you seen it? Pen drive ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಒಳಗಡೆ ಒಂದು ಚಿಪ್ ತರ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ? Okay, that is nothing but the chips. Now IP and OP devices. We don't have much transformation. ಏನು third generation ಅಲ್ಲಿ use ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ. Keyboard, mouse, monitor, same things are used here. So nothing to write as such. Okay. Speed. Now we call it as picoseconds. It's named after a different. Okay. 10 to the power minus 12. So minus 3 in the start ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, minus 12. That's a kind of speed. Every generation, there is an increment of the speed or increase of the speed. So programming language as usual, high level only. There is no downgrade here. High level languages are used. Okay, examples, as I already told you, laptops. Okay, Intel 4004. These are all some of the examples. Your desktop. Okay, so some of the examples. Okay, there is some other transformation that has happened in the fourth generation. One thing is MS Windows operating system was introduced. MS Windows operating system was introduced. ಈ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಇದು ಯಾವುದು ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ MS Windows. We use MS Windows now. ಅಲ್ವಾ? 11, 12 ಅಪ್ಗ್ರೇಡೆಡ್ ವರ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಆ MS Windows ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತದ್ದು ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಆಪರೇಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. New things, ಯಾವ things ಇದೆ like in the computer, the way you work, okay, ಆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಇಂಟರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Simple. The second thing is personal computers. Personal computers are also introduced. We call it as micro one. Personal computer is nothing but these things first. Laptop, desktop, personal computers. PC ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ. Where is my PC ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. So personal computers were also introduced in the fourth generation. This is about the fourth generation. And one more last generation is remaining. I hope you have written everything. I'll erase it. The last generation is remaining. The latest one, no? Fifth generation. Okay. Fifth generation. For the calculation and operation, okay. I have written present and beyond ಅಂತ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂದುವರಿದ ಭಾಗಕ್ಕೆ the user fifth generation. 5G ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಲ್ವಾ ಅದೇ. Nothing but fifth generation. Okay. You might have upgraded your phones to 5G generations. That is a generational improvement in the mobile technology. Okay. First, illu kuda hangene operations ge same microprocessor use. Nothing has changed much. Microprocessor, and one more thing that is came into existence is biochip. Biochip. That is a device, or that is a new device that we use for calculation purpose. Memory. There is a good transformation in memory. Chips. What else we use? Chip ಆದ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಮೆಮೊರಿನ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ? ಸ್ಟೋರೇಜ್ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಏನೇನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ ಡ್ರೈವ್, ಓಕೆ, CD, DVD ಕೇಳಿದಿರ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ? CD, DVD, ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್. ಫ್ಲಾಪಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದಿರಾ? ಫ್ಲಾಪಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್. Don't worry, we'll be studying about this. Floppy disk. Cloud storage, I don't think so we can include it here. Okay, those are the software where we keep, where we store information. I'm talking about the computer. Within the computer, how you can store them. Right? Cloud storage cannot be included here. Floppy disk. Speed, IP, OP device and transformation agilla. Actually, hard disk drive. HDD is hard disk drive. Hard disk ಹೇಳಿದಿರಲ್ವಾ? There you can store a huge information. CD ನೋಡಿರ್ಬೋದು, DVD ನೋಡಿರ್ಬೋದು. CD and DVD looks similar, but the kind of data it is stored is quite different. CD ಮತ್ತು DVD. Then we have floppy disk. Floppy disk ನೀವು ನೋಡಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಒಂಥರ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ ತರನೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ. Okay, let me, if it is possible, let me show the diagram. Okay. Floppy disk. This is how floppy disk looks like. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ. Actually, in our generation it used to be there. Okay, you know only few things like pen drive, ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನು, those things you might be knowing. But basically, this is the floppy disk where you can store data. Okay, let me show hard disk also. This is how hard disk looks like. Okay, it stores data within this. Chips are there within this. Okay, huge data can be stored. Then CD ಎಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿದಿರಲ್ವಾ? Hopefully you might have seen CD. I'm just showing data. Okay, yeah. Memory chips ಕೂಡ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. This is how the actual memory chip look like. ನೋಡಿ ಇದು. Look at the size. It is very small, but still it can store a large data. Even in your phones also you have this memory card and the basically. Those are nothing but the storage devices. Okay, is that fine? Okay. Moving forward, a few more things are remaining about this. We complete. Yeah, hard disk drive. This right. Yeah. Fifth generation speed. You haven't discussed the speed. Femtosecond we call it. Femtosecond. What is the speed, guys? 10 to the power? How much? 10 to the power? Hopefully you're there in the class. Minus 15. Okay, 10 to the power minus 15 seconds. Programming language, again, it's high level. All the C programming and all those are being used. Okay, example specific ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ಹೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ, but we call a new system that is being introduced supercomputer. ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ? Have you heard about supercomputer before? What is supercomputer if you have heard? Supercomputer ಅಂದ್ರೇನು? See, generally whatever computer we use for a personal space, ಅದು ಯಾವ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? 4th generation ಬರುತ್ತೆ. I told PC, ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಇದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ಯಾವ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇವಾಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಯು ಟೈಪ್ ಇನ್ ದ ವರ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ ಯು ವಾಚ್ ಯು ಯೂಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ವಾಚಿಂಗ್ ಮೂವೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್, ಅದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸಮ್ ಅದರ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ಸ್, ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಡೂ ಇಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಇಫ್ ಎಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಯುವರ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಹ್ಯೂಜ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಹ್ಯೂಜ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಲೈಕ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಟ್ರೇಡಿಂಗ್, stock market trading, you need a computer with a high processing system and all this. Are you using computer for weather forecasting? Weather forecasting was previous material. You use computer for some big operation like controlling a machine. ಅದೊಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮಿಷನ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ಸ್ or the mini or micro computers, if you use it, it might not be enough to control the data within that system. So in that case, use a new type of computer. We call it as supercomputers. Remember, it's a new type of computer. We call it as supercomputers. Some people are mentioned here. It gives high performance and all that. Yes, true. For the purpose of high performance, we use supercomputers. Don't worry. Next chapter or whatever class happens in the next class, we'll be studying about the supercomputers in detail. Okay, we call it as supercomputer. So it is required for high performance and huge data. Weather forecasting ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Data ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. It would read the data and it will go on updating. In that case, if you use your normal computer, it will burst out because it might not be able to manage the data that is coming in. Okay, microprocessors ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, it might not be able to manage your data. Okay, it might burst out. In that case, use this computer for high performance. We call it as supercomputers. Am I audible, guys? Is there any problem with the voice? Now, is it audible? Is it audible now? Yes, Sandra? Okay. Okay, got it, got it. Yeah, this completes. Okay. Few more topics. Few more points about 5th generation robotics, development of robotics or AI, and all those things have started in this phase, 5th generation phase. Okay, Chat GPT, ನೀವೇನೆಲ್ಲ use ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, these are all developments of 5th generation. Okay. Then second one, interconnection of computer. Interconnection of computers. Interconnection of computers start ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಈ phase ಅಲ್ಲಿ. We call it as networking. Networking of computers. Networking of computers. Like there will be a device, there will be another device, another device. So there are connections with one another. We call it as networking. Networking of computers. Nodi, for example, you are working in a supermarket. Supermarket ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Okay, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಕೌಂಟರ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. You might have some 10 counters to bill. Okay, but all these computers are interconnected. So that concept of interconnectedness, yes, good. In IT companies also, whatever I work, okay, it can also be visible to the colleague who's working besides me. He's also be able to access it. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಅಂದ್ರೆ we are working for developing a program. They are working together. ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ ಟಾಸ್ಕ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತೀವಿ IT companies ಅಲ್ಲಿ. So that interconnectedness comes when you are able to connect the computers. That is developed in the 5th generation, basically. Okay, that completes generations of the computer. Okay. Before ending up, I just wanted to give you some insights of types of computer. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. Types of computer ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. Types of computer ಯಾವ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬ್ರೀಫ್ ಆಗಿ ನೋಡೋಣ. Okay. So by purpose, suppose, am I noting now? Yes, yes, thank you. So, in terms of ಉದ್ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ಉದ್ದೇಶದ ಆಧಾರದಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಟೂ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಜನರಲ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಲ್ವಾ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ವರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಜನರಲ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಟ್ರೇಡಿಂಗ್, ಓಕೆ, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ವೆದರ್ ಫಾರ್ಕಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್, ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲಿಂಗ್ ಎ ಮಿಷಿನ್, ಓಕೆ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಜನರಲಿ ಸೂಪರ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Okay. Next, by type we have three types: analog, digital, hybrid ಅಂತ. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಓದಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. This is most important for us for the purpose of exam. Okay. Hybrid is nothing but analog and digital function ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನ ಹೈಬ್ರಿಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಹೈಬ್ರಿಡ್ is nothing but ನೀವು ಕೇಳಿರ್ಬೋದಲ್ವಾ ಹೈಬ್ರಿಡ್ analog plus digital. So what is analog, what is digital, we'll discuss later. Okay, by size, the micro, mini, mainframe, super. Depending on the size, depending on the operations it does, you can divide it into 3 or 4 types: micro, mini, mainframe, and super. Basically, there are 5 types. We'll be discussing about that. So that probably ends. Okay, these are the pictures. We'll complete those portions in the next class. So that actually ends today's session. We'll resume tomorrow. Okay. Hopefully, it's going very well. We're studying a lot of things. Yeah. Hopefully it is going very well. We're studying a lot of things, guys. Have you understood? Okay, timings I'll inform. Timings I'll inform. Tomorrow, today evening you have English. Today evening you have English. Tomorrow, probably in the morning hours itself, you'll have computer. Oh, sorry, tomorrow morning you will have English again. Today evening at around 7 o'clock, 7:30, we'll start English. Tomorrow morning again you'll have English from 8 to 10 days. Please be ready from 8 to 10. Tomorrow evening we'll have computer again. It will go like that. Clear? Tomorrow you don't have aptitude classes. No aptitude classes tomorrow. Today it isn't there. Tomorrow it will not be there. From Monday it will continue from 6 to 7:30. Okay, it will complete. Probably in the next week, aptitude class will get over. Again, she has told that she will do some revision sessions for you regarding the few topics. The revision questions, previous year questions, PYQs will be solved. Okay, so that would end. And I wanted to don't leave the session, guys. Please do wait. I see some of you have already left. See, one thing I wanted to tell you is about the test. Okay. From now onwards, I don't want you to postpone the test. I'll give the timing there because within that time, you need to complete the test. ಇವಾಗ 10 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ I'll tell before 1 o'clock you're supposed to complete the test. Before 1 o'clock, you need to do this. I think tomorrow you have test, if I'm not wrong. Let me check the timetable. Tomorrow is 12th. Yeah. Tomorrow you have a test. Yes. So whenever we share the question paper, we'll inform you in the group. Within the maximum of 3 hours, I want you to complete the test and submit it to us.